redeemed bad boy Landon Carter in A Walk to Remember. And raised our blood pressure as resident hottie Dr. Ray Barnett on ER.
Yes!
Well, now he plays a 17th century hero out to save innocent souls by taking on dark and powerful witches in the supernatural series Salem. Take a look.
I thought you weren't done with me.
I wasn't. But I might be. It all depends on you, witch hunter. Whether or not you can see how well our interests are aligned.
Our interests. A witch and me. It's hard to see what we got in common.
Please welcome the fantastic Shane West.
Exceptionally good-looking show today with Elizabeth Banks and Shane West. Exceptionally good-looking today.
I think Cheryl just did permanent damage to my right ear. Shane, you...
She's going to get arrested. Go ahead.
Now, you grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah, that's right.
Your parents were both in punk bands, which is just the coolest thing ever to say.
Yeah.
But what was that like growing up in that atmosphere?
Well, we were babies. So we got to hear and see a lot about it later. But we grew up in little high chairs next to amplifiers and probably blowing out our ears. I have no idea. It was good for our future. But it was really cool. And it was during the actual time of that music revolution. And I was born in '78, so that was pretty proper. And it made me interested in doing it myself.
Which you have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't know that. Shane is also a punk band singer.
That's correct.
And a very good one. Now, when you started acting, you actually got your first gig by lying during your audition, which a lot of actors have done, but what was your particular lie?
Yeah, I don't know if I recommend that.
We are liars by trade, right?
Well, I guess that was a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a gig. I couldn't get arrested, and it was, you know, I basically crashed my friend's audition. It was his audition. It was for a television series called Picket Fences. It was a great show. And it was their final season, and they found out quickly that I wasn't supposed to be there. And I just kept lying. I kept saying my agent told me I was supposed to be here. My agent. Call this agent, here's the number, whatever it was. And they caused such a racket that the director came out of the room and said, we'll see him anyway.
Oh, wow.
And then I went home. When I went back to school, we had pagers at the time. When I went back to school, I got paged to go to the office to make the phone call, and they said, you got the part. And I was like, what part? What audition? What show? I have no idea what you're talking about. They said I got that.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, okay, I want to know more about Salem. Congratulations, because it's in the second season.
Thank you.
But it takes place in 17th century Massachusetts, around the time of the infamous witch trials.
Right.
But in your show, the witches are real.
That's correct.
Tell us more.
Well, it's our take on it. I think it's great having, talking about this infamous period of American history. And it's our fantastical take on that, of basically saying, what if witches were real? And what if they were in power and running the witch trials? So they were deciding who was innocent or guilty. And that's, a unique take on it. And it's been a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a really cool show.
Thank you.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
during the time of the Salem thing, people got around and riding horses. And your name is Shane, but you were not excited about this. What's going on? Why?
Yeah, with a name like West. I have not been in a Western yet. I'm trying. It's never gonna happen. I love horses, but I admire them from afar. I don't need to ride them. And they know that. They can sense that. I think they can sense energy. Most animals can. And if I'm going to get on a horse, they just don't listen to me. They don't take off running, but they don't listen to me.
Right.
So I finally got to get on a horse to do a scene that we were going to do on the show. It airs this Sunday. There's some of that.
Nice. There you are.
Me trying to look not terrified.
Right.
I got a Metallica T-shirt on. That might help. Scare the horse. They cut it.
Oh no!
I just did ADR work. It's me and Seth Gable. We have a scene. We both get on horses and ride off, and it ends with us talking. And that's like, after all that work.
I really quickly want to kind of talk about where the show is right now. One thing I love about it is that in the witch trials in the real life, women were victimized, but in this show, the women are in power. They're in control, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And your character, John, just discovered that you and the love of your life, who also happens to be Salem's most powerful witch, have a child together. This is a totally new discovery. So what does this mean for your character, John?
Well, you know, John goes into this season full of revenge. That's really his only plot. I mean, he's off to kill the love of his life if he has to, and rid all of the witches from Salem. So when he finds out that they have a child, and she finally rescues him, I don't know what that means for them getting back together. I don't know what that means for their love, lost, potentially. But it means they have to do something for their child. So what we can say, which I can't cheat and tell, is that we're going to do a pretty amazing exorcism episode.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
Shane West, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Shane. Salem airs Sunday nights at 10 on WGN America. Don't go away, because when we come right back, we have one more giveaway you have a chance to win at home.